Hello everyone, welcome to the shop. Today I'm going to bring you a product review video of a nifty flashlight by Nitecore, and it's actually right here in my hand. Check this out, the Tiki 300 by Nitecore. Alright everybody, before I get into talking about the flashlight, I am a veteran in the United States Army and I take my words serious. Anybody that's watched any of my product reviews know that I will not promote a product, nor will I bash a product if I don't believe it deserves either one. If it deserves praise, I'll give it to it. If I need to tell you to stay away from it, I'll tell you that as well. I also will not do anything to tarnish the reputation of my channel and my word. So if I tell you the product's good or bad, that's how I firmly believe from my testing. Your opinion might differ. Like I said, this is my opinion based on the product. Okay, so that being said, sometimes companies send me products for review. Other times these are products that I bought or purchased, and I either have a really bad experience or a good experience, and I like to share that with my viewers so that way you can know to either stay away from that product or it might be a product you want to look for. So now, why technically I didn't buy this light, I did. You guys follow along my channel, you know I've been into backpacking. I'm looking to hike the Appalachian Trail, so weight saving is everything. So I needed a battery bank to take with me on trail, so I bought the Nitecore MB2000. Link will be in my Amazon store if you're interested in any of these products. So I believe Nitecore is price protected, so the seller on Amazon added the flashlight as part of the bundle. Now the flashlight retails for $19.95. So they threw it in here. I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, hey, cool. It's an included flashlight, basically free. Or they basically marked this down $20 or whatever, however you want to look at it. So I'm like, hey, you know, I got nothing to lose. I didn't have any expectation of this little flashlight. I just figured it's a little flashlight, whatever. And matter of fact, when I first got it, I didn't even really use it. And I kicked myself now because this, spoiler, is a great flashlight. Now, I just did a walk down the street with this thing. It's nighttime, so I'm going to show you how bright this flashlight can get. So check it out. This is it on setting 1, and then look, not 2, not 3, 4 settings. Look at that. Now look, all from this little light. Look at how crazy that is. Wow, look at that. It's freaking insane. See, I said that's setting 1, barely anything. And number 2 is decent enough. 3 will really get you going, but 4, come on, man, look at this thing. It's the size of my thumb. So I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty impressive that you can get that kind of power out of something so small. So let's get into some of the specs here. If I hadn't mentioned before, this is the Tiki 300, retails for $19.95 by Nitecore. At full power, it is 300 lumens. They rate the light to travel for 77 yards, I guess effective, how long it'll work. Now there's 4 settings. You click the button twice, brings on your flashlight. This is 1 lumen, and this is rated to work for 40 hours on this little 130 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. The next one up is 15 lumens, and that's rated to get 4 hours out of that battery. The next one up is 60 lumens, and that's rated for 1 hour. The next one up is the 300 lumens, and that's rated for 30 minutes. Now, the only thing I will say with that is, if you leave it on full power, after about a minute, the flashlight automatically kicks it down to the 60 lumens. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe because this thing is waterproof. It has a IP66 rating. So I'm thinking either the battery's going to get too hot or the LED will get too hot to actually run 30 minutes on full power. But that's what they rate you can get it at. Also, if you need to get this flashlight on real quick, if you just hold down the button, it'll go to full brightness. Now, if you notice, there's 2 other LEDs up here in the tip. You hit this 3 times, and the first one is a UV. I'm not really sure what you need the UV for. They say it's a counterfeit bill detector. I guess, you know, if you're a hiker and you're staying at a hostel, you know, make sure your bed's clean of anything. I guess you can use that. Now, they do sell a translucent black version of this as well. And it, instead of UV, has a red and blue flashing LED, which I think is a lot cooler. I'd rather have that than this. But then you hit this up, and then there's a really bright CRI, they call it LED. This can run an hour and a half. The UV will run for 45 minutes. And then what I think is pretty cool here is pretty neat, is that you have a flashing strobe option. So this is great if you're walking down the street, or maybe you're backpacking, you got to go on the street or something like that, or even if you're on trail, you get hurt and you need to signal, maybe it's getting dark and you got searchers trying to find you, you can put this on here. There's a lot of good things you can use with the flashing light. I do like that feature. I do wish, though, that the upper LED had different brightnesses like the front, because what I found really handy is when I go backpacking and I'm in the hammock, I clip this to my ridge line, and then I can light up the hammock and see what's going on. So that one worked, but you know, I wish you could adjust it. So that's that. You got 3 different lights on here. I think I touched on about everything there. There's 2 other versions too. They look translucent like this, but they glow in the dark. One's green, one's blue. So basically like 4 different lights you can purchase. Yes, spoiler alert, I really love the light. I've been thrilled with this thing. Like I said, I didn't even really think nothing of it when I got it. I just kind of threw it off to the side and never played with it. Then all of a sudden one day I was like, let me check this thing out, and I was blown away. Really blown away. Now, are there some things I feel could be better? Absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, the UV light, I really don't see any purpose. The red and blue light, I kind of like. Maybe it'll get some people in trouble. I don't know, but I kind of like the red and blue light better. Or maybe this could just be 2 white lights, one higher than the other one. Because to me, I don't know. I don't see any point in the UV. Now this is rechargeable, which is really cool. And it's lithium ion, so it's going to last a really good long time in that. So you got a little rubber cap here over. The only problem I have with this is it's not USB-C. I think everything produced now should just go to USB-C. You know, especially if, you know, Nitecore has a big backpacking, hiking following. And we don't want to bring a whole bunch of cables with us. Shouldn't have to bring several cables with us to charge things. I really wish that was USB-C. My only other thing I would say is this thing here for the keychain. This upper part is really thick, and look at how small that ring is. I battled to get this thing on. As a matter of fact, if you look at that ring real careful there, you can see how spread open that is. It was a battle to get this thing clipped on. But other than that, that's the only thing, my only critique of negatives that I can think of on this is that's a little hard to get on, the UV, and I really wish it, and this is one thing I could really just change to be USB-C. I really wish that was just USB-C charging. But other than that, I think this is an absolutely fantastic light. This is just something I think anybody can use. You know, you keep it in your purse, keep it in your car, keep it next to your bed in case you lose power. Just keep it in your pocket. It weighs nothing. It's rated at 0.42 ounces. 0.42 ounces. It's about 2 inches long. Like I said, it's about the size of a pinky. Fantastic light. You know, like I said, if you're a camper, you know, you hang this thing in your tent, and you can see what you're doing, do some light reading, and it's very, you know, dim. You know, if you got to get out of your tent and go use the privy, you can grab this real quick. To me, this is way more convenient than pulling out your cell phone and turning that on and walking around with this big thing. And, you know, just, you know, if you've used some of the privies, this is pretty cool that you can just use the light that's on here, turn this thing on, sit it down somewhere, and then you could light up and see what's going on if you need to. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's a flashlight, so whatever you need light for. But I think the uses for this thing are endless. I mean, I love it, man. I've been so blown away with this thing. I absolutely love this thing. I carry it all the time with me now. And I hope to do a through hike here at the Appalachian Trail shortly. And this is going with me. I've already done some backpacking trips, and I've taken this, hung it in my hammock, and it's worked fantastic. So I hope you got some value out of this review. I highly recommend the product. I think it's a great product. Nitecore is a pretty good company. Most of the stuff I don't have too much experience with them, but I do know that they are a pretty solid company. They've been around for a while, and they make pretty good products. So I highly recommend the little light. And if you're looking for a good lightweight battery bank, the NB2000 too. They also came out with a newer version, which is a little nicer. It's a little more rounded on the edges. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, like I said, go to my Amazon store. Check it out either under Appalachian Trail or under reviewed products. I'll put a link to this flashlight into both for you, and it's a free way of helping the channel. I get a commission if you buy through there, and it adds nothing to your cost. I promise, absolutely nothing. So if you save my store as your Amazon homepage, if you frequent Amazon, anytime you buy anything, it doesn't even have to be anything through my store, I get a little commission. It helps me fund these camping trips and keep this channel going. I would greatly appreciate it, and thank you for those of you that do that. The little extra stuff helps, because, you know, stuff like this to do these hikes and bring these videos aren't cheap. Like memory cards, cameras, all that. So every little bit helps. So, all right, there's an honest review. To me, really great products. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you subscribe. Join us for some camping and world travel adventures and hiking the Appalachian Trail. So stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.